Hey, what's up, family? Hey, today I'm gonna do a great video for a lot of you homeowners out there. There are plenty other ones out there, but I'm gonna give you a different perspective and mention a couple of things that maybe a couple of other videos hasn't mentioned about termites. So I'm gonna title this video Termites and Repair. Termite Damage and Repair. So if you look here, you can see termites definitely got me. They got me bad too. Right here. They got me up there. You know, it normally be like a soft, look at that. Like chip right away. Real bad. Now, when I initially first caught this, I just thought it was in this area. So I ripped that area out. And then I see it had traveled over to here. And then it traveled over here. And the further it got over, it started to be no longer. There was a little bit there too, but as you can see, the more it came over, it was no longer. Like it was up there real bad. It was down here horrible. But then when I sealed my wall back up, I still had a funky smell, like that rotten wood smell. And it was just driving me crazy, just like any homeowner who could really identify that smell. And so I said, you know, let me open this wall up again. Then when I opened up again, because I initially just had it here, and I thought I got it. When I opened up again, it was up there. And it was down here. And that's where that smell, that funky smell. Now as you can see, they got me good here and all that. So obviously, to repair this, it's not a huge deal, especially if you got a little bit of DIY experience, do-it-yourself experience. It can be done. You don't got to always get a contractor. But if you think that's the safest thing to do for you, so be it. But simple things you can do to fix these things, like I got to replace my beams. This was a wood filler with some treatment in it, what this is, once I repaired that. But I got to go in and replace these wood things here and fill that in. And then I got to replace I'm going to replace all these wood studs. But, so I know a lot of you probably saying, how did you know you had termites? And how did you find out, how did you assume or know that you had termites? Where do you think it evolved from? How did it start? And how do you treat termites to kill them, to get rid of them? Well, I'm going to explain all that to you. And I'm going to explain it all to you. For one, I think the reason I got termites was by my own naivety and laziness. You know, rather you on the job or off the job, you got what's called good house cleaning. You know, you keep your house clean, or you're on the job type of thing. You put your tools up, you clean up your mess. You know, good house cleaning. And in my case, it was bad house cleaning. See, right outside this door is my garage. Now, I use my garage, you know, I got a couple toys in there, but I use my garage as my workshop as well. So I use my miter saw, my jigsaw saw, my other saws, and I cut a lot of wood at times. And where I went crucially bad was all the sawdust and the leftover wood chips. I would just leave in my driveway, right outside this door. I would just leave there and go, the rain will wash it away. Not realizing the severity of damage that I was bringing to myself because of these termites. And not only that, another thing that could cause termites is like your repairs around your house, because creepy crawlers, these little creepy crawling insects, they could find a way into your house. So when you get a satellite dish attached to your property or whatever other wiring, anytime you got to drill in and out of your house from the outside, these leaves openings. So it's good to always cap them very well. And the reason I'm adding the satellite thing in is because I remember when we first got our satellite dish, which is right above this door. And I remember I had installed the door and we had a slight little leak. And I kept saying, man, I know I installed the door properly. Why I got a leak? But it wasn't until I went up where that satellite was attached and the guy who installed it, there was a tiny little gap. And I just simply went up there and corked it, as I would advise a lot of you guys, a lot of you people out there. Make sure you do an inspection of your house. Any wiring or any type of drilling was in and out of your house, especially from the outside, exterior wise, make sure you cork it and cork it well. So that way you don't allow these creepy crawlers to get in your house. So now if you add that, the satellite dish, it had an opening. And then you add my sloppy bad housekeeping, leaving wood sawdust all over, this attracted termites. And see, by me having bad house cleaning, so by having bad house cleaning caused me a bunch of damage. Now I got to repair this. Good thing I do know how to do this stuff. Now the other thing, once you find the termites in your house, if you happen to have them, which they are an eyesore, it make you want to itch if you actually see them. One thing you got to remember, if you locate them, vacuum up, clean that area, replace the wood, whatever, that's a definite. But now that don't mean that you got them all, because they could be elsewhere in your house. So what is very important, which me and my wife did ourselves, you can call a contractor. Sure you could. Or you could just do it yourself. Now we had ordered this chemical. It's the very same chemical that the contractors use. And we did the ratio to water with the bucket and all that. And we had to dig a trench all around the perimeter of your house. This is how you kill these termites. You dig a trench, and that's what we did. We dug a trench, and after you dig the trench, you got to pour that stuff. It's labor. It's definitely a lot of work, but it's worth it. You doing it and killing these termites, and it lasts up to like 10 years or more or whatever. But once you dig the trench, you pour that stuff down every 5 feet, and then you do it again the next 5 feet, and you do the whole perimeter of your house. And then when you put the dirt back, as you're putting the dirt back in your trench, you should be spraying it down with a sprayer with more of the chemicals, and then you level it back off. That's how you do that. So like I said, once you locate the termites, you don't just locate them and think your job is over. No, you got to protect your house now with a perimeter. Now, the reason you do that trench thing, because you got to understand, what a lot of these videos are not mentioning is how is it that kills. Because unlike roaches, you can't just spray termites and think, oh, it's done. No, they would tunnel and go elsewhere. See, when you see these little dirt marks and the little tunnels, if you ever, I got rid of a lot of them now. This looks horrible now, but the little tunnels, I wish I had left some for you so you could see. But what a lot of videos have not mentioned is how is it that those chemicals, putting it in the ground, is going to take care of your termite problem? Well, that's why I'm here to explain it to you. It's real simple. Termites, when they're in a structural house or building and they're doing their damage, what they're doing, they have to go back to the ground, the soil. They have to. It's like that's life for them. They have to keep in contact. The workers and the soldiers have to keep in contact because the soil, it keeps moisture for them. They have to. It's definite. They have to go back to the soil. And that way, when you do that perimeter of poison to kill them, the moment they go back to that soil, that's when you got them. So that's the purpose of doing that perimeter. It's very important to do so. Another way I can explain to you that it makes sense to you is just give you a comparison. Let's take a dolphin, for example. We all love to see how gracefully dolphins swim and they go in the water for long periods of time, and we think it's so amazing when all the stuff that they do, right? But although a dolphin can be underwater for long periods of time, a dolphin has to come back up to the surface to get air. And that is, like I said, with the termite. He has to come back up to the surface to get air. And that's when he gets long breezes of air, and then he goes back underwater. See? And that's how the termite is. Just to give you some similarity or correlation to make a better understanding for you. Because dolphins can't breathe forever underwater. They have to come back up. So termites, when they all in your walls doing all your damage, no matter how far they go or how high they go, they have to come back down to the dirt. And if you do that perimeter around your house, the moment they come back down, that's when you got them, you kill them. You understand? So then, taking care of all this is very important, but doing the perimeter of your house is just as important, if not more important. Now, I remember when I first detected this, my wife kept thinking I was crazy. I kept saying, babe, I smell this rotten wood. She didn't smell it, nor did my daughters. And they was like, how did you? And then when I ripped it out and I showed them, they was like, but how is it that you're telling me you could smell termites? And I laughed. I said, I'm not saying I could smell termites, but from the other properties that we bought, times all the rotted wood in that place, and times that I've done work for other people, you do pick up certain keen senses. And that's why I was able to determine and detect that smell. I noticed it right away. It's no different than growing up as a kid. Unfortunately, in poverty areas, when you had roaches in your house a lot, they had a certain smell to them. And I remember One of the properties me and my wife bought was an abandoned house. When we first bought the house, I had said to my wife, I said, yo, although this house has been abandoned and there's no roaches or nothing in it, I could tell it used to be infested. And my wife was like, what do you mean? I ain't seen not one roach. I said, nah, I'm telling you, babe, they're in the walls. They may be dead, but I could smell them. And of course, my wife's like, that don't make sense. How you gonna smell roaches? I'm like, I'm telling you, they have a smell. They give off a pheromone. They do. And sure enough, once we started ripping up the walls in the other house, you could see all the dried up roaches and all the feces they left behind. My wife was just amazed. Like, how is it that you was able to smell that? It's a keen sense you pick up when you're doing this type of work all the time. Many exterminators will tell you the same thing, or people that does this type of work. So, not gonna keep the video long. What I will say in closing is that if you suspect you got termites, or you want to eliminate the possibility of ever getting termites, every now and then do an inspection of your house from top to bottom, attic, basement, exterior, interior. Go outside, look around your house. If you see them little dirt trails against your wall, that's a sign of termites. If you see them little sand castles up against your wall somewhere and you see a trail from that, good sign. If you see some rotted wood, a most common place is by people's garages, at the bottom of their garages. If you see that rotted wood at the bottom of your garages, good sign you got termites. So every now and then you should definitely do an inspection of your house interior. Go in your basement, go in your crawl spaces, look at them beams, tap them. They not solid like that. They don't sound solid. If they sound hollow, good sign of it. If you see them dirt trails, look like mud trails, that's a good sign of it. So every now and then, make it your job to go through your whole house and go outside with a flashlight even. Go through every crevice that you could and look to see if you have that. Hopefully you don't. But if you do, at least now you know you have detected it and you can get on the problem. Do that perimeter of that poison stuff and definitely take care of that. They sell it at Home Depot and Lowe's as well, home improvement place. But the stuff that I got is the actual contractor stuff. I wish I had it with me now. It's actually in my garage. I don't feel like pausing it to get. Matter of fact, just hold that there. I'll get it for you just to show you the actual stuff that I use. I don't need to hold the video up, but I just want to show y'all the actual stuff that I use. There we go. This is what it's called. It's called Termite. Now this is what contractors actually use. Now, your home improvement places don't sell this. They sell other stuff. That could be just as well in the ratio that you use it. But this is what I use. This is what the professionals use. Now, I had bought like 3 bottles of this. It is kind of expensive. It definitely works. And that's what we use to eliminate our problem. So now, I'm about to replace all this wood and get this over with. And to you out there, inspect that house. Make sure you don't got that problem. And if you do, take care of it and take care of it fast, because termites can do a lot of damage. I know this may sound crazy. In closing, I would rather have roaches opposed to having termites in the house. See, that's what I'm saying. I should be writing some lines for some of these comedians out here, because I'm telling you, with roaches, at least you could kill them on the spot or whatever, and you really just got roaches because you're just a nasty person. You leaving food around and crumbs and all that. And roaches, that's it. But termites, they will eat you out of a house. You might go to hang a picture of them, put a hammer in the wall, a nail, and they go right through. And you're like, what the heck? These termites is eating my house. So I know that sounds crazy. I really want roaches or termites, but I'm just saying, if I had a choice, I'd rather have that. It's like my other video, choosing your vote, where I gave you the analogy of a lion or a black mamba. I like giving that to make you think type of videos. If you want to see that video, go to that video too. It's called Choosing Your Vote, and give you something to think about. And on that note, subscribe, share, like, and comment. Peace.